Hi there. I hope that your studying is going well for your first examination tomorrow for this term. And I would like to solve here the revision sheet for your exam. And as you can see, it is composed of 9 questions. I'm going to start basically, to be honest, with the real life graph question. Okay, so D is directly proportional to T. And like I said, you can't forget something that you learned in maths. Everything is connected. So proportions, you learned that in the first term when you worked with numbers. And accordingly, they want you here to use proportions as well as the skill of composing a formula between T and D as following. So, okay. So, we're going to say here T is 3 while D is 36. And as you can see here, D is represented on the y-axis and this one is presented on the x-axis. And as you can see, T is less than D. Accordingly, in order to make a relation between T is equal to D, you're going to either multiply T by a number so that it is equal to D, or you're going to divide D by a number, or you're going to divide D, here what I meant by a number, sorry about that. So you're going to divide D by a number, or you're going to multiply T by a number in order to be equal to D, or you're going to divide D by a number in order to be equal to T. Let's find this number. So you say from 3 to 36, and what you learned, let's say that you couldn't figure this out. If you carry on with reading the question, they tell you find T when D is 66. Okay, so we have T and D again. They gave you a relation as when T is equal to 3, then D is equal to 36. And they're asking you, find T, so T is unknown, when D is equal to 66. What you used to do last term, you used to multiply these two numbers like cross multiplication, and we say the unknown equals to fraction line. The unknown is multiplied by 36 and 3 times 66 go up. So we keep that 66, and if you do some cancellations here, you divide this by 3, it will become 1, and you divide 36 by 3, it will become 12. So basically, in order to find that new T, you're going to multiply the D by 1 over 12. 1 over 12, or so you're going to say, in order to find the new T, you're going to say 1 over 12 times D, which is the same as T is equal to D over 12. So if you substitute, how do you check on this? You are going to say, what is T if D is equal to 36? You're going to say 1 over 12 times 36, which is equal to 36 over 12. And if you divide 36 by 12, the answer will be 3, and that's what we need. So the formula between D and T, or T and D, you can write it in one of the two ways after I explained how here. You can say T is equal to 1 over 12D, or T times 12, it will give me the D. So that would be the answer for this question. Okay, so to find T when D is equal to 66, you're going to write T is equal to 1 over 12D. Substitute the value of D, so T is equal to 1 over 12 times 66. So the answer will be 5.5. So T, so this is the explanation. Let's write our answers here. Okay, so you're going to say 1 over 12 and D is 66. So it will be 1 over 12 times 66. So T is equal to 5.5, or you can write it as 11 over 12. Sorry, 66 divided by 12, it will be 11 over 2 or 5.5. Okay, so in order to draw the graph, once we figured out the formula, so you're going to say, this is my table. This is T, which is in otherwise the X, and this is D, which is in other words is Y. And the relation between them, T is equal to 1 over 12D, or you can write it D is equal to 12T. Some people find it easier this way. This is totally up to you. Okay, so, and then you're going to choose values of or for D. Okay, look here at the x-axis. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would be easier for me if I choose the T as any number, right? So let's say that you chose D or T as 1. So 12 times 1, the answer is 12. Let's say that you chose T as 2. So it will be 12 times 2, which is 24. Let's say that you chose T as 3. So it will be 12 times 3, which is 36. What if you chose T as 4? So D will be 12 times 4, and the answer is 48. What if you chose it as 5? It's 5 times 12, so the answer is 60. Okay. The answer is 60. What if you choose T as 6? So it will be 12 times 6, and the answer will be 72. What if it's 7? It will be 7 times 12, and the answer is 84. What if it's 8? 12 times 8, the answer will be 96. What if it's 9, and what if it's 10? If it's 10, it will be 120, right? And then now we go to the plotting skill. We go to the plotting skill. And it would be the easiest two numbers to plot. Let me get back here. The easiest to plot is 5,60 and 10,120. And as I explained earlier, and of course, if D is equal to 0, t is equal to, then d is 0. So it would be easy for me to plot as well 0, 0. So let's start. So we're going to plot 0, 0, 5, 60, and 10, 120. If we go up here to the graph, I'm sorry about this. It's really not easy to handle. All right, this is our graph. This is our graph. Okay. All right, so now we want to plot 0, 0. This is my 0, 0. And I want to plot 5. This is the 5 on the x-axis. And I will go up to so this is 5, 60, and then we're going to take the 10 up, 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 up. And this is my 120. And this is the point. You just need to grab your ruler and to draw the line by connecting these points on one line. Of course, I'm using my free hand now. So this line will present t is equal to 1 over 12d, or d is equal to 12t. And that's how we draw this line graph. Okay. So sometimes they might give you a drawn graph, and they want you to find an equation between the x and the y. So you take the values of 2, for example, and you find what is it equal to, and you find a relation between this number and the number that you will get. Okay, so for example, you got the 5 here. So you're going to say as following: if this is x and this is my y, if x is 5 and y is 60, how did the 5 become 60? I must multiply the 5 by a number to get the 60, or I must divide the 60 by a number to get the 5, and that's how I create the formula. So I will repeat once again. They might give you a drawn graph, and they ask you to find an equation where it shows a relation between the x and the y. So you take one of the values of x until it hits the line graph, and you find the value of the y. Then when you find the x and the y, you need to write an equation that makes a relation between the two numbers. Okay. Now let's get back to this question. I'm starting with the questions that some students might find it hard. Okay, so the first 3 diagrams in the sequence are shown in these diagrams. And as you can see here in the table, let me just get this screen a little bit bigger, a little bit only, okay? And as shown here, you have this table. The first row, it shows the number of the diagram, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which in other words represent the n. And then the lines, we need to write the nth term for lines and the nth term for dots. And we can say this is L for lines and this is D for dots. Okay, let's do that. So from 5 to 10, like I explained earlier, please always write the nth term before you start answering the sequence questions, because I don't want you to get things mixed up. So if we take the first one, we have the n, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And then we have the nth. We're talking about the lines here, and it starts with 5, 10. So from 5, you're going to find here the term to term rule, or the first difference. Okay, so we're adding 5. So if we add 5 here as well, this one, it will be 15. And if we add 5 once again, this one will be 20. Let's check on the third diagram. Did we get this right? So you're going to say lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 and 6 because it's a symmetrical shape. It will be 12, 13, 14, 15. Yay, I got this right, which means that the first difference is right. It is fixed throughout the sequence, which is adding 5. Accordingly, I go immediately and I say the nth is equal to, the difference is 5 times n. Go to the first n. 5 times 1, 5. So I don't need to add or to subtract any number here. 5 times 2, 20. Yay. 5 times 3, 15, which means the nth term for lines is 5n. Cool. Let's go to the second or to the third row, which represents dots. Okay, so we're going to start with n. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the nth, and we're talking about dots here, and they started with 6 and then 11. So basically, we're again adding 5 if we're talking about the first difference or the term-to-term rule, as we like to call it. So if we add 5 here, it will be 16. Let's check on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus 5 is 10 plus 1. It will be 11. So 6 to 11, we're adding 5, right? Okay, and then if we add 5, so it will be, this is the, sorry. Yes, that's right. So I thought that this is the third diagram, so that's why I got confused. So it's right, this is 11. Okay, let's check on the number of dots in the third diagram. That's what I meant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 7 is 14, 15, 16, and we got this right. So the first difference is right. And accordingly, if I add 5 here, in the fourth diagram, it will be 21. Okay, so the first difference is fixed throughout the sequence. So I will go immediately and write the nth term, and I will start with 5n. Go to the first n. 5 times 1, 5. To become a 6, you're going to add 1. Let's check on the second n. 5 times 2, it's 10. 10 plus 1, 11. Yay, I got this one right. Let's check on the third. 5 times 3, 15. Plus 1, 15. I got this one right. 5 times 4, let's go to the next n. 5 times 4, 20. Plus 1, 21. So the nth term here is 5n plus 1. Now that I got the nth term for each row, I will start answering the questions. So I can write here, because I don't want to keep on going up and down. L is equal to, or the nth term for L is equal to 5n, and the nth term or for D is 5n plus 1. Perfect. Okay, for diagram N, write down an expression in terms of n for the number of lines. So in other words, it's as if they're asking you, write the nth term for lines. And the nth term for lines is 5n. The nth term for dots is 5n plus 1. So we answered this question. Work out the number of lines and the number of dots for diagram 20. Yay, easy. Since I got the nth term for L, which is 5n, and the nth term for the dots, which is 5n plus 1. So they're asking me for diagram 20. So this means n is equal to 20, which means substitute n as 20. In other words, as if I'm saying here, that 20th term for L is equal to 5 times 20, which is 100 lines. And as if I'm saying that 20th term for dots, it will be 5 times 20, plus 1. So this will be 101. So I will have in that 1th diagram, sorry about that. So I will have in that 1th diagram 100 line and a 101 dots. All right. And that's the, when it comes to sequences, I will go to the question that also some students might find it hard, which is interpreting drawn line graphs. So when you see here, you have line A, which is parallel to the x-axis, and line B, which is parallel to the y-axis, line C, which is parallel to the y-axis as well, and then you have line D, which has a slope or a gradient, and line E, which has also a slope or a gradient. The difference between line D, which is this dark red, and the green, which is line E, that the slope of line E is going to be negative, while the slope of line D is going to be positive. Okay, so in such questions, I always prefer that you write the equation for each line. So you tell yourself, I have line A, which is the light red, and then line B, which is the navy, and then line C, which is, okay, do I have more colors here? I think I do. Okay, more colors, no, okay, no more colors. Okay, let's say it's a pink, so I don't know, I'm just going to say line C, which is the pink. I just don't have enough colors. And then I have again the dark red, which is line D. And then I have the green, which is line E. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And always starts with the lines that are parallel to the X or parallel to the Y. Any line that is parallel to the X axis, such as line A, remember that the equation of the x-axis, is y equals to 0. So that's why line A or any line that is parallel to this x-axis will start with y is equal to, and it's equal to a number. The line A, it's passing through point 2 on the y-axis, so that's why the equation of line A is y is equal to 2. Then go to line B. B is parallel to the y-axis. Remember that the equation of the y-axis is x is equal to 0. So that's why any line that's parallel to the y-axis, it will start with x is equal to. So C is parallel as well to the y-axis. So the equation will start x is equal to. So then you go. B is passing through which point on the x-axis? If this is -5, -1, -2, -3, so this one is -4. So it's passing through -4, so it will be B is equal to -4. And then you ask yourself, C is parallel to the y-axis, so I will start the equation of line C with x is equal to, and then you go and look. C is passing through which number on the x-axis? So if we say 1, 2, 3, and this is 4, so it's between 3 and 4, so we will give as 3.5, for example. So the equation of line C, x is equal to 3.5. Now, let's go to the lines where it has a gradient. And let's start with line D. We know that the gradient, so it's going to be positive. Where is it passing on the y-axis? Because remember, the equation of any straight line is y is equal to mx plus c. So it's passing through 0, 0. So that's why c is going to be 0. So I just need to find the gradient. And in order to find the gradient, you can take any point on the line that has a clear intersection with the grid of the coordinate plane. So I can take this line, this point and this point. This point represents 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 on the x-axis, comma, 4 on the y-axis. And this one, it represents 1, comma, 1. Okay? So you can grab a line down here and draw another line like this. As you can see, this is my right angle triangle. We start counting the squares on that are parallel to the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, and here 1, 2, 3. So it's 3 over 3. So it will be m is equal to 1x. So in other words, the equation of the line is y is equal to x. And why it's only y equals to x? Because it has no c. The intersection with the y-axis is 0, 0. So that's why c is equal to 0. Now, let's go to the last line, which is line E here. And as we can see that the slope is going to be negative, while here the slope or the gradient is positive, okay? And the C is also equal to 0 because the passing point through the y-axis is 0, 0. Okay, so I will take 2 points on the line that has a clean intersection or a clear intersection with the grid of the coordinate plane and this point here as well. And we draw the right angle triangle, count 1, 2, 1, 2. So it will be y is equal to negative 1x, and we can write it as y is equal to negative x. So let me just erase here so that we don't get ourselves confused. Now that we found the equations of the lines, the drawn lines, okay, and to get ourselves more organized, we're going to say this one is y is equal to x. This one here is, this one is c. X is equal to 3.5x. And this green, it's y is equal to negative x. And this navy, which is the B, we're going to say it's x is equal to negative 4. And we already wrote this one. So yes, and the A1, which is this one here, we said it's going to be y is equal to 2. Cool. Now we start answering the questions. Okay. We write the equation of line D. Yay, I can write this very easy. The equation, it's y equals to x. Find the gradient of line A. The gradient of line A, as you can see, m is equal to 0 because line A has an equation that for line A, y is equal to 2, which means it's parallel to the x-axis, and that's why it has a gradient, a 0 gradient. Work out the equation for line B. So I explained earlier how we found it out. So it will be here, x is equal to negative 4. Okay, so I think here we finished the hard questions. Let's do very quickly the rest of the questions. Here in this question 6, okay, 3 of the 4 equations below represent the same straight line. By considering their special properties, circle the odd one out and give a reasoned answer to your question. So, like I explained earlier, you should always remember that the equation of any straight line is mx plus c. Y is equal to mx plus c. So you need to make sure that all equations are written in the exact same format. So for this one, we're going to make y the subject. So if we transfer the plus 5 to the other side of the equal, the final form will be y is equal to 3x minus 5, which means m for this line is 3 and c is equal to negative 5. So the y-intercept is 0, negative 5. If we go to the next line, it's already written in the exact same form of y is equal to mx plus c, which means, so y is equal to 3x plus 5, which means m is equal to 3, c is equal to 5, and the y-intercept is 0, 5. And here, y, if we want to make y the subject, we must transfer the negative side to the other side of the equal. So y is equal to 3x plus 5, because when we transfer the negative 5 to the other side of the equal, the sign will change. So here m is equal to 3, c is equal to 5, the y-intercept is 0, 5. Here, we need to make y the subject, so we will transfer negative 3x to the other side and negative 5 to the other side. So y will stay on its own, and when we transfer the negative 3x to the other side of the equal, it will become 3x. When we transfer the negative 5 to the other side of the equal, it will become plus 5. So m is equal to 3, which is the coefficient of x. C is going to be 5, so the y-intercept is 0, 5. So as you can see, all these three lines are the same. They have the exact same formula. They have the exact same gradient, the exact same C, and this one is the odd line. And remember, all lines that are parallel lines, they have the exact same gradient. They have the exact same gradient. That is a piece of info that you need to keep in mind. Okay, here they want you to draw the line graph of two equations. You have the first one, which is 2y minus x is equal to 10. And as we explained, bear in mind that all straight line equations must be written as y is equal to mx plus c. So in order to write this one in the exact same way, so you're going to make y the subject, so you're going to transfer first the negative x to the other side. So it will be 2y is equal to x plus 10. Divide each term by 2, so it will be y is equal to 1 over 2x, which is the same as x over 2, plus 10 over 2, it will be 5. Okay, and let's do this equation here the exact same. 2y minus x is equal to 10. So we're going to say 2y is here. Transfer the negative. Oh, I'm sorry. That is the same one. Sorry about that. That's the same. So we wrote it as y is equal to half of x plus 5, which is equal to 2y minus x is equal to 10. Okay, in order to draw the line graph here, we need to make our beautiful table. This is the x and this is the y. Remember, the equation is y is equal to half of x plus 5. Okay, we should be smart at selecting the x values. So if we choose x as 2, half times 2, it will be 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. I can choose x as 3 because I will end up with half times 3, 1.5, and I do not want to plot decimals. So let's choose the next x as 4. So half times 4, it will be 2. 2 plus 5, it will be 7, right? So 0.5 times 4, it will be 2. 2 plus 5, the answer is 7. If we choose it as 6, half times 6, 3. 3 plus 5, 8. If we choose it as 8, x as 8, half times 8 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. That's enough, right? And we can say that this is my y-axis. Of course, you need to use a ruler. Perpendicular on the x-axis. And we're going to start the plotting. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can carry on. Okay, so let's start with 2 and 6. So this is 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is my 6. I can extend it here. So this is 2, and this will be my 6. Okay, and then 4 and 7. To be honest, I would be smart if I have only this space. Sorry, let me teach you something here. I can always bring my x-axis to here and my y-axis to here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I have more space, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have no problem with the x-axis. So 2 and 6, this is the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is the plotting. And then 4, 3, this is my 4, and then I'm have to go up to 7, and this is the second point. Of course, I can only choose 2 points, okay? And this is my, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 6, and it's with the 8. So grab your ruler and connect between the points. Draw your line, put the address on the line, and you're done. And of course, if they want you to complete the table here, okay, let me show you how do you do that. Okay, let me, sorry. All right, let me show you how do you do that. Let's say that the equation is, sorry, y, here we have another, sorry, there is one mistake here. This one is not y is equal to 10x. So the equation here that we have, which is this one, y is equal to half of x plus 5. So as you can see, if y is equal to 2, is 5, sorry, let's have a look here. If x is equal to -2, so you're going to have to say half times -2, it will be -1 plus 5, so this one will be 4. Okay, if x is equal to -4, so you're going to say half times -4, it will be -2 plus 5, so this one it will be 3. If x is equal to 0, then this one it will be 5. If x is equal to 2, then you will say half times 2 is 1. 1 plus 5, this is a 6. And here you're going to say, for example, here -2, 4. That's what you need to plot. 0, 5. That's what you need to plot. 2, 6. That's what you need to plot, and so on. Okay? All right. They want you to draw the line of y plus x is equal to -1. y plus x is equal to -1. So how do you do that? Let me just, okay. This belongs to this equation. We're going to do another table where if we want to write this one in the form of y is equal to mx plus c, so it will be -x minus 1, because we're going to transfer the x to the other side of the equal, so it will become -x. So we're going to choose values for x and values for y. Okay, what if x is equal to, let's say -1. So you will say -1 times -1, it's 1, 1 minus 1, this one will be a 0. What if x is equal to 0? So it will be 0 minus 1, this one it will be -1. And then what if y is equal to 1? -1 minus 1, it will be -2, and this is enough. And then you go up there and you plot -1 and 0. So this is -1 and 0, and then 0, -1, this is 0, -1, and then 1, -2, and this is 1, -2. You draw the line, and as you can see, you will put an address on this line, which is y is equal to -x minus 1. And remember, the intersection point as x comma y is the solution for both equations. And as I explained earlier, if you can't find it graphically, you can always trick the examiner on finding it algebraically. So here, -x and x. So I can add the two equations in order to eliminate the x. So I will solve them algebraically as simultaneous equations. So you will say 2y minus y, it's y, minus x plus, sorry, I'm sorry, here it will be 2y plus y, it will be 3y, minus x plus y, so the x's are cancelled, 10 plus minus 1, so it will be 10 minus 1, so it's 9, equals to 9. Now I have a linear equation with one unknown, which is y, so I can divide all this by 3, so y will come down to 3, so y is 3. In order to find the x, I will choose this equation because it's easier to substitute y and to find x. So I will say 3, because y is 3, plus x is equal to -1. So I'm going to send the 3 to the other side of the equal. So it will be x is equal to -1 minus 3, and x, it will be -4. So if you draw this accurately using a ruler, you will find this point as -4, 3. Or, like I said, you can always solve it algebraically. Okay. This question, I think you have no problem with it. You have to pay attention to which degree they want you to find the value of x. So here they say it's to 1 decimal place. They said it's between 8 and 9, so let's say with 8 as 0.5, for example. So you will say here 8.5 squared plus 8 times 8.5, so it's only substitution. So if x is equal to 8.5, so it will be 8.5 squared plus 8 times 8.5. So if you go here, 8.5 squared plus 8 times 8.5, the answer will be 140.25, which is too small, because the answer that they want here is 144, so it's too small. If you go to 8.6, so it will be 8.6 squared plus 8 times 8.6. If it's 8.7, it will be 8.7 squared plus 8 times 8.7. Okay, let's do the first one. 8.6 squared, use the calculator, of course, plus 8 times 8.6, the answer will be 142.76, which is less than 144, so it's too small. Okay, and if you go to the 8.7, 8.7 squared plus 8 times 8.7, the answer will be 145.29. All right, so now this is too big. It's greater than 144. So too big. So my answer will be somewhere here for x. So is x equal to 8.6 or is it equal to 8.7? I will take the answers. So I will say that requested answer here is 144. So 144 minus 142.76, and I will take also the greater number 145.29 minus 144. Okay, so minus 144. The difference here, I'm sorry, 145.29 minus 144, the answer will be 1.29. And if I take the 144 minus 142.76, the difference here is 1.24. This one has a less difference, okay? This one has a less difference, and which x give me the 142.76? It's the 8.6, so the answer of my x is 8.6. Okay, show that this point, and obviously this is a point on the coordinate plane, and as we explained, any point in the coordinate plane is equal to x comma y, right? So x is equal to 20 and y is equal to 80. And this is the equation. They're asking us, check if this point is actually on the line graph of y is equal to 5x minus 20. Okay, so let's substitute the y as 80 and the x as 20. So it will be 5 times x, which is 5 times 20 minus 20. Let's go down and simplify. 80, 5 times 20, it's 100 minus 20. 80 is equal to 80. If I got the two sides of the equation equal, it means that this point is on the line graph. If it wasn't equal, then this point is not on the line graph. So yes, that's how we show that it is on the line graph. Okay, can I erase this? And let's say that they want us to check on, for example, point, let's say that they want us to check on point, for example, 5, 20. Okay, so what we're saying basically, check if this point is on the line graph of y is equal to 5x minus 20. So you're going to say x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 20. And what do you do next? You're going to substitute. Y is 20 equals to 5x, which means 5 times x, and x here is 5 minus 20. So 20 equals to 5 times 5, 25 minus 20. So go down again. 20 is equal to 25 minus 20. It will be 5. So 20 is not equal to 5, which means point is not on the line graph of y is equal to 5x minus 20, because this point did not satisfy the equation of y is of the line. Okay, so once again, so that you don't give this example is just to show you how do we figure out if the point is on the line or not. If the point satisfies the equation, It means that the point is on the line graph. If it does not satisfy the equation, then it means that the point is not on the line graph. So let me just do it once again. Y is equal to 80, so we substitute y as 80. X is equal to 20, so we will say 5 times x, which is 5 times 20, minus 20. Go down, 80 will remain the same. 5 times 20 is 100, minus 20. 80 will go down here, and 100 minus 20. So the left side of the equal is equal to the right side of the equal, which means that this point is on the line graph of this equation. Okay. Here it's about finding the inverse function, and the first step, as we learned, this is the equation that they're given to us. So replace the h of x with y is equal to 2x plus 1. Make x the subject by applying opposite operation. So you're going to say minus 1, or send the plus 1 to the other side of the equal. So it will be y minus 1 is equal to 2x. And then you need to get rid of that 2. So divide each term by 2. Get rid of the coefficient by dividing each term by 2. So it will be here y over 2 minus half is equal to x. Yani, in other words, x is equal to y over 2 minus half. And I can write it as, we can split the y and the 2 in the denominator as half of y minus half. So then the last step, replace the x with 5 inverse of x equals to, and replace the y with x. So it will be half x minus half, and you're done. Last question. So I went, to be honest, from the hardest to the easiest. Okay. Last question. They're giving you here an equation or an expression for the nth term. So this one, you can write it as the nth term is equal to n squared minus 3, and they're asking you to find the first 5 terms. So you're going to say first term is equal to 1 equal, first term, it means n is equal to 1 minus 3. Second term 2, it's when n is equal to 2, so 2 squared minus 3. Third term, it's when n is equal to 3, so it will be 3 squared minus 3. The fourth term is when n is equal to 4, so it will be 4 squared minus 3. And then the fifth term is when n is equal to 5, so it will be 5 squared minus 3. And then use the calculator or mental. So 1 squared, it will be 1, 1 minus 3, it will be minus 2. So the first term is minus 2, sorry. This is the sequence, minus 2, sorry. And then 2 squared is 4, 4 minus 3 is 1. So the second term is 1. Okay, 3 squared, it means 9. 9 minus 3 is 6. So here the third term is 6. And then the fourth term, it will be 4 squared, which is 16. And then 16 minus 3. Then the fourth term, it will be 13. Okay. The fifth term, 5 squared, which is 25 minus 3. So the fifth term, it will be 22. So first term, second term, third term, fourth term, and fifth term. The first term is negative 2, second is 1, third term is 6, fourth term is 13, and fifth term is 22. Thank you so much for watching this record. Please do watch it more than once if you need to. And I'm going to wish you once again very good luck at the exam tomorrow, and also to have a very good night's sleep so that you can do well tomorrow. Thank you and goodbye.